Many people who work making 25 an hour are employed for just 4 hours a day. When you look at the numbers carefully, that adds up to roughly $2,000 a month before deductions. On paper, it might look like income, but in real life, it barely covers anything. The reality people face today is very different from what wages suggest. Apartments these days are about $1,900 and up for a one-bedroom. That means the rent alone can take almost everything someone earns in an entire month. When rent consumes nearly all income, there is nothing left for basic living. Housing used to be the foundation of stability, but for many workers, it has become the biggest obstacle to surviving. Then there is a resource, CNG, car gas, and food. These are not luxuries. These are the everyday costs that people must pay just to live. Electricity keeps the lights on. Heating keeps families safe during cold months. Transportation allows people to reach work. Food is essential for health and survival. Each of these bills keeps increasing, yet wages for many workers remain limited by reduced hours. When someone earns about $2,000 a month before deductions, taxes and other withholdings reduce that amount even further. The money that finally reaches a bank account can be hundreds of dollars less than expected. That means even less money available to cover rent, utilities, transportation, and groceries. The situation becomes even more serious for a single parent. A single parent must provide housing, food, clothing, transportation, and care for their children with the same limited income. Childcare alone can cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars each month. School supplies, medical visits, and basic family needs add additional pressure. So the question becomes unavoidable. What money do these people have to pay anything? When rent nearly equals monthly income and the rest of life still requires money, the math simply does not work. This is why many families feel trapped in a system where working hard still does not create stability. The numbers show a clear reality. People are working, but the cost of living has risen faster than the income they receive. That leads to a serious question society must face together. What exactly are we doing here if full effort still cannot provide basic survival? When the numbers are this unbalanced, something in the system clearly does not make sense. A lot of people cannot work two jobs. The idea sounds simple when someone says it out loud, but the reality is much more complicated. Many parents have children coming home from school in the afternoon, and there is no one there to watch them. For a mother or father, leaving a child alone is not an option. Safety comes first, and that responsibility changes everything about how a person can work. Childcare is not cheap. In many places, hiring a babysitter for just a few hours every day can cost hundreds of dollars each month. For families already struggling to pay rent, utilities, food, and transportation, that extra expense is simply impossible. The money just is not there. When people suggest working a second job, they often overlook the cost of childcare that would be required to make that second job possible. Think about the situation clearly. A parent finishes one shift, but their child is getting out of school at the same time another job would begin. Without a babysitter, that parent must choose between earning more money or being there for their child. For many families, the choice is obvious. Children cannot be left without supervision. Now imagine someone who only makes $800 a month working at McDonald's. That income barely covers anything in today's economy. Rent, electricity, heating, transportation, and food all require money every single month. Even the most careful budgeting cannot stretch such a small amount far enough to meet all those needs. When people hear numbers like this, they often wonder how anyone survives under those conditions. The answer is that many families are constantly juggling bills, delaying payments, or sacrificing basic necessities just to keep going. It becomes a daily struggle to maintain stability. Working hard has always been seen as the path toward building a better life. But when wages are extremely low and the cost of living continues to rise, the math stops working. Parents who are trying to support their children are often doing everything they can, yet still find themselves trapped in a system where effort does not match opportunity. These situations are not rare exceptions. They represent the everyday reality many families face while trying to raise children and maintain a safe home. Many people are beginning to question the direction things are going. When everyday families work hard but still struggle to survive, frustration grows. People start asking difficult questions about why the cost of living keeps rising while opportunities and stability seem to shrink. These concerns are coming from real experiences that many households are facing every day. Across the country, families are dealing with higher rent, higher food prices, higher utility bills, and rising medical costs. At the same time, wages and work hours often remain limited. When people look at their paychecks and compare them to their monthly bills, they notice the gap getting larger and larger. That gap creates fear, stress, and uncertainty about the future. Some people feel as if the system is pushing them toward exhaustion, poverty, and poor health. Long work hours combined with financial pressure can affect both physical and mental well-being. When people cannot afford healthy food, medical care, or proper rest because they are constantly trying to keep up with bills, the situation begins to feel overwhelming. Another reason people feel frustrated is because they rarely see quick solutions. Many leaders talk about change, but everyday families often feel that real improvements move slowly. When problems remain unresolved for long periods of time, trust begins to weaken. People start wondering if the voices of working families are truly being heard. The middle class and low-income communities are often the ones feeling the strongest pressure from economic changes. These groups rely on stable jobs, affordable housing, and access to healthcare to maintain security. When those things become harder to reach, people worry about what the future may look like for themselves and for their children. It is important for society to continue having open conversations about these challenges. Real solutions require attention, cooperation, and accountability from institutions, communities, and leaders. When people speak about their experiences, they are expressing the reality of their daily lives and the struggles they see around them. Many families are not asking for luxury. They are asking for something much simpler: the ability to work, provide for their children, maintain their health, and live with dignity. Those goals have always been the foundation of a strong and stable society. Please feel free to follow, subscribe, comment, like, and share. It is free for you. You never have to pay. This helps you to stay connected to me, and it helps me to remain here creating more content for you. Thank you. Love always, Maria DC Santiago.